And so how would you describe your community? How would you name it?
The community at large, I mean, Williamsburg is a huge community.
Is it a Satmar community?
It's mostly, I would say, 75% of Satmar. Yeah, I mean, people would consider me to be Satmar, because everyone in this community was anti-Zionist, as if is going into this categorization of Satmar, you know.
But you don't consider yourself that way?
In the sense that I'm anti-Zionist, I am. But and I'm not opposed to Satmar, but actively I'm a Neturei Karta, because I think Neturei Karta is the right way to battle Zionism.
Is your I hope you don't mind my asking these kind of questions, because the students who will see this don't know that much about Judaism, so I'll ask you questions about Judaism as well, so you don't mind. Is your clothing or your davening style, or any of your kashrut restrictions, are any of those Satmar as opposed to something else? Or are they different than Satmar? Like your hat, that kind of thing?
No, these are all similar to Satmar. We look, they dress the same way, and kashrut is pretty much the same standards. And the way we daven is pretty much the same. Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I would say there is no different in community from Satmar. Like, I'm davening in Satmar, I'm a member of Satmar also. I participate with Neturei Karta because everybody understands that we need to battle Zionism. We need to fight against Zionism.
And when you were a child, what would it have meant to be in Neturei Karta as opposed to in Satmar? Is there a difference?
There's a different approach for the
children?
way to fight Zionism.
But in terms of your childhood, were you? I'm sorry. What? Actually, maybe it would be helpful if you would say your name and where you grew up.
My name is Deutsch. I'm 29 years old. I grew up here in Brooklyn. My grandfather was a rabbi in Michigan, Detroit, a big community there. He was anti-Zionist, a big anti-Zionist. He was close to the Satmar roof, Rabbi Yol Teitelbaum. And I grew up a Satmar. I came from the yeshiva Satmar. I'm always, and even now, I daven in a Satmar. I'm a member of Satmar. About the approach to battle Zionism, let me tell you a story I had last week.
Maybe one thing I should explain, which I had said earlier. I'm not asking about the teachings of Neturei Karta. I'm mostly interested in people's experience and their life histories.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I was trying to walk through is sort of like your childhood, how you got exposed to it, and try to work through that. And just also like what it's like to grow up with an activist, grandfather, for instance, what it's like to grow up as an activist, how you got involved. So that's mostly how I wanted to start for a while.
I would say about, I was 15, 16 years. I started to know from Neturei Karta from my older brother.
15 or 16?
Yes.
So when you were in...
I was still...
When you were younger in yeshiva, it wasn't something you knew about too much? In your particular situation?
No.
Okay. And you heard about it how?
From my older brother. My older brother was involved in organizing some protests for Neturei Karta.
Uh-huh.
So then I realized that the way to battle Zionism and to make people understand that not every Jew is the hate the Muslim people, and not every Muslim hate Jewish people, is the way to say that we are not enemies, we used to live in peace. And it's very simple.
Uh-huh.
Once I realized and once I got involved, I see this is true.
So you were able to see it pretty quickly from your older brother?
Yes.
And what about your parents?
My parents in the beginning, they didn't so much involved, but once I came in Neturei Karta, they fully support us, they give us money, they help us. They're very interesting in these things. Even my father even attended one time at the protest by the Israel Day parade in Manhattan.
Uh-huh. So with your older brother, they initially were a little bit uninvolved.
They didn't got so much ideas about Neturei Karta till I came in.
Until you
Now I'm a little bit organized, and I'm very much involved in the Karta. So since I got involved, they heard a lot of things more